Which way? Okay. It's for sale. It's for sale. Hello, whoever it is. Thank you for coming to the chat for a few seconds, whatever or however long. Hello. Thank you for coming into the chat for a few seconds. It's kind of warm today, y'all. Not too bad, but it is kind of warm. Who is that? Hello. San Jose. Hey, San Jose Maid. How are you? How are you today? Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday. Happy new day. Happy new day. Happy new beginning of the week. Happy new beginning of the work week. For some people, for others, just a happy new week. Just a happy new week. Okay. Happy Monday. Happy new day. You know, I was inside and I kept looking outside because I was working out under the cool air. And I was like, okay, am I going to cool down in here today? Am I going to stay on the elliptical? Or am I going to go outside? So it looked cloudy. I saw the trees moving, you know, the leaves on the trees moving. I saw the branches moving. It looked pretty decent. It looked pretty nice, like it has been for the past couple of days. But I came out here and there's a slight breeze, but it is hot. It is hot today. It is hot today. At least it's not 90. It's not 90 degrees, but it's pretty warm. It's high 80s, okay? It's high 80s. So, you know what that's like. When you get into the high anything, you tinker back and forth between the low next thing, okay? You kind of tinker on the brink of the low next, the next low, which will be the low 90s. And so, for all I know, it might be 90 degrees right now. But why did it have to happen when I decided I was going to come outside? I was going to come outside. Why did it have to happen when I decided I was going to come outside? But that's okay. That's okay. We make it work. We'll make it work. Because if it gets too hot, we can always go back inside. We can always go back inside. But I think it'll be okay. I have some water. There is a breeze. So I think we're good. Like my title, it's imperfectly perfect. It's imperfectly perfect. You know, you gotta go with it. If you can't change it, and even sometimes when you can change it, okay, you just gotta go with the flow. You gotta go with the flow. And right now, you know, every day that God gives us is perfect. It's a perfect day. The things that happen during the day might not be so perfect, but all of his days are perfect. Look at the sun is just burning the plants. Oh my goodness. I think the birds are even hot, okay? The birds are even hot. You can hear them a little bit, but they're not as active. They're not as active as they usually are. So the birds may even be hot. San Jose, I almost clicked on your comment. You have to remember when you're on YouTube, you can't click on the comments. You can't put the comments up, which that's probably a good thing. I think that's probably a good thing. When you're on YouTube, you can't click on the comments and put the comments up for everybody to see. And I think that's a good thing. Because even something as slight as the comments can cause chaos. Especially when people just put the comments up and leave them up there forever and a day. Okay? It makes you not want to comment. It makes you not want to leave comments in the comment section. Because they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing when they put your comment on the screen. Remember, people are like cats. Finicky, mean, calculating, even in the simplest of ways. Even in the simple ways. They're dancing. These birds are actually dancing. They're about to mate. They gotta be. So look at their tails. Look at their tails. They won't leave each other alone either. Look. We'll see if they're still doing it when we come back. Okay. I don't have you on here. I don't have you on here. You gonna walk ahead of me? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? I wouldn't. They run. They don't want you. That's a healthy squirrel there though. Look at him. Yeah, he's a big one. He's a big boy or girl. Hello. We're good. How are you? Good, good, good. I know I need to pay you guys to come and do the same thing. I need to pay you guys to come and do the same thing for me. You can walk ahead. Or you can fall back. What you want to do? You want to fall back? I'm not going to go fast. Uh-uh. All right. Do whichever one you want to do. I'll be able to. I can throw a rock at you now. Like, I can throw a rock at you now. I'm going to leave the Bluetooth on. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to leave my Bluetooth on. Nobody can hear you. Hey, chef. Hey, my chef finest wine. Hey, my chef. Hey, my last pride. Here, heading up my... Oh, you're heating up your lunch. Listening. What's up, chick? Nothing much, bro. Nothing much. How's it going? How are those votes going? It's time for me to share you out again. I hope that I hope you talking about it more on YouTube is helping to get, those votes up there for you. Because we already know who's going to get it. We already know who's going to get it. But we want to do all we can to get people to voting, to let them know that they can vote more than once. That's the good thing about competitions like that. You can vote more than once, until it's done. until it's done. So I'm hoping that you're climbing higher and higher and higher, because we know that you already claimed victory. Okay, you claimed victory. What are you eating? What are you heating up, Chef? Let me take these shades off so I can see. Hey, Tariq, how are you? How are you, Tariq? Votes are going, okay, yep. So just need more votes. I need to be in my top #1 spot. Yes, yes, right, Chef, right, right. So we're gonna keep on sharing it out, keep on talking about it, and you know, the votes are gonna get better. They're going to get better. I wish, I wish that like people would respond to things, things like that to help each other out. Because even, I think, didn't you have to have Facebook, right? So if you don't have Facebook, just use somebody who does. Use somebody who does. Some fried chicken and french fries. All right now. Therese says, I'm good, just got done eating. See, wait a minute now. Everybody eating. Everybody eating. Y'all know I'm greedy. Y'all know I'm greedy. And everybody's talking about eating. And Chef's heating up some fried chicken and fries. Mm-mm-mm. Did you fry it, Chef? Tariq, what did you have? What did you have, Tariq? Fried chicken and fries. You can never go wrong with chicken, okay? I don't care how you prepare it. You can never go wrong with chicken. People make jokes about chicken, but let me tell you, if if there was a shortage of chicken in the grocery stores, like there has been before, but I mean if there was just like a complete you can't find chicken kind of thing going on, people would be livid, okay? People would be livid. And I'm talking about all people. I'm talking about all people. Those jokes won't be so funny. The chicken jokes wouldn't be so funny. I'm talking about baked chicken, fried chicken, grilled chicken, boiled chickens. A lot of people like boiled chicken, especially people who are like on that really, really healthy eating journey. Boiled chicken is good. Boiled chicken is good. And I remember growing up, my great-grandparents loved boiled chicken. And as kids, once we got our hands on a piece of fried chicken, we thought that was the be-all, be-all. But nah, nah, fried chicken is great. But it can be great in so many ways. Like you can do so much with chicken, so much with chicken. Chicken to some may be considered a poor man's food, but I promise you it's not. I don't care what economic status you've achieved. I bet you get your hands on some chicken, you're gonna enjoy it. Hey, kicking it with Lynn. Hey, hey, hey. Yes, piping hot, piping hot. Let me see. You had a club sandwich, Tariq? Yeah, you gotta have Facebook, which is silly to me. It really is, because that Facebook would be where I get most of my votes. No, I brought the fried chicken from the restaurant. It was so hot, I had to blow. Now that's hot. That is hot. That's piping hot. Kicking it with Lynn says, hey, Lion's Pride, and everyone in the chat. Hey, Lynn. How you doing? Y'all go over there and check out. Chef, you saw it, didn't you? I think you left a comment. I'm not sure. I might be thinking. I was watching a few videos today, trying to leave a couple of comments and some thumbs up. So, Kicking it with Lynn made that spaghetti squash, that zucchini. I said it was a spaghetti. What did you use, Lynn? Did you use you didn't use eggplant, did you? Because like my kids use eggplant, and they use eggplant, and they use what you had. I can't think of the name of it now. It's a big squash though. It is a big squash. It's a big squash, and it's so good. So that is actually a spaghetti squash. Okay. So my kids have used that, and they've used the purple eggplant, and it's so good. It's so good. Y'all go over there and check out Kicking with Lynn. She seasoned that thing up so good. I was like, Lynn gonna make sure that's good, and it looked good, y'all. It looked delicious. Hey Betty, hey Retirement Days, welcome into the chat. Yeah, they put butter on the bread and toasted it. That sounds good. Tristan, is Tristan in here? Hey Chef, Tristan, I didn't see you. Welcome into the chat. How you doing, Tristan? So what Tristan eating? What y'all eating today? Look, you go over there and check out Kicking It with Lee, and she's gonna make you hungry, okay? She's gonna make you hungry. Okay, I was trying to catch it before that music came through here, y'all. Y'all go over there and check out Kicking It with Lynn, because she's gonna make you hungry today, okay? She made that spaghetti squash, and it looked delicious. I have no doubt that it was delicious, okay? She cheesed it up, she seasoned it up, she baked that thing good. And you know, before I tasted it, when my kids said they were gonna make it, I was like, okay, go ahead. I wasn't too sure, y'all, that I would like it. But I was like, well, heck, it's a veggie, so, you know, they were like, Mama, I think you're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. Y'all, I liked it. I liked it. Okay, I liked it. These people with these boom box, oh my gosh. So yeah, I liked it. Retirement Days. Look, we got all these cooks in here. Okay, we got the best chef on YouTube, Chef Find His Wine. We got Kicking It with Lynn, who's always cooking up something good. Tristan, you cook up some nice dishes yourself. We got Betty from Retirement Days. We got all these cooks in here. Tristan, are you a cook, Tristan? How do you do in the kitchen? I'm good, and I ate some chicken Alfredo with pesto. That sounds good. And penne pasta earlier. You're welcome, Tristan. Tristan, y'all check out Tristan too, because he cooks up a good dish or two sometimes, okay? Everybody in here loves to cook. And that's a good thing. You'll never be hungry, okay? You'll never be hungry. But like Chef did, sometimes you gotta hit the grocery store. You gotta hit the restaurant. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. You know, sometimes we're busy, y'all. Sometimes we're busy. It does sound good, doesn't it, Chef? So again, guys, please, if you have a Facebook account, and even if you don't, find someone who does, and please vote for Chef Find His Wine. Chef, can you put the official name of the competition in the chat? Can you put the official name of the competition in the chat? Or whatever you need to put in there so that they can get to it, like the link. Or hey, Angel Eyes. Tariq says, how are you, Angel? And so, yes, if you guys have a Facebook, please. And again, if you don't, find someone who does, you know, and just ask them to vote for you. Find someone else who does and ask them to vote. So we can do it that way. So we can do it that way because we want to get Chef as many votes as possible, okay? We want him to win this thing, okay? We're claiming it, but you know, there is a process, so you got to go through the process, okay? Sometimes we got to have a little patience and just go through the process. Everybody speaking to Angel speaking back. Everybody speaking to everybody. Please, y'all support each other, okay? Support each other as much as you can. Support good, positive content and good, positive content creators. You know, support who you want to support. But I'm just emphasizing that because people who, you know, bring positive or refreshing content, you know, they don't get the support like the drama does. They don't get the support. We don't get the support like the drama does. But just keep doing what you're doing. You know, if you want to change something that you're doing, Do that, but don't change it to, don't change it to become something that you're not, because even YouTube tells you, in the end, positivity wins out. Okay? In the end, positivity wins out. Yeah, when there's some negative stuff going on, the chats look full, but look at the number of subscribers. And some of them don't care about that. Just like no, some people don't care about the number of subscribers. All they care about is who's in the chat. But the number of subscribers does say a lot about you sometimes, depending on who you are, because if you bring the news in a good way, that says a lot. I do like the ones who bring the news, like Chef Finest Wine brings celebrity news. I like that. And then they give their own take on it without being harsh or overly critical or being mean. So I know the other day I was saying I get kind of tired of the entertainment news, but that's something Chef doesn't do. He doesn't beat you over the head with it. Like, he's going to give you such a good variety of everything. The food, he does those interviews, he and Roland's reviews. He said they're going to get back to that soon. And he does celebrity content. But what I've noticed about Chef when he does celebrity content, it's like he gets it and he leaves. He gets it done and he leaves. He doesn't harp on it, and it's not like a daily thing. And he doesn't wear you out with it. He doesn't wear you out with it. It's like, it's informative. It's just enough to let you know what's going on. It may be something that you didn't really know. It may be somebody that you like or that you're interested in or that you followed before. He touches on it and he goes. He doesn't stay on it forever and a day. Okay? Because I'm like, celebrities need breaks too. Okay? They need breaks too. Yes, they chose the career. Yes, they did. But they are still human. They are still human. So, what did y'all do today? What have you guys done? Are you still at work? Are some of you still at work? Like, what do you have up? What are your plans for this week? Do you have any work deadlines? And if y'all see the title says Imperfectly Perfect. So I'm talking about that because I saw a discussion in the chat. Actually, it was about someone got veneers, y'all. And the veneers, she had veneers before, and I guess it was time to get them done again or something like that. So she got them done again. And she said that it has made her life, like, in her words now, she says it's made her life miserable. So I got that question for y'all, like, how do you feel about enhancement, like when it comes to surgical enhancement or things like veneers and things like that? Would you prefer braces over veneers, to just kind of straighten your teeth up? I know that there are a lot of different reasons why people may choose one over the other, but I think they're basically just to make your teeth look better in both cases, to make your teeth look good, maybe to, fill in some spaces. Like with the veneers, you can hide spaces, because they're basically a thin yet durable covering over your teeth. So this young lady, she's a social media influencer, and she's having problems. Big problems. She said she's starting to have TMJ, and it didn't happen the first time. And it makes me wonder, who did she go to the first time? Like, did she go to the same office and there was just a different doctor? But she went to another office and it was down in Miami. And she says that it has been horrible. The experience has been horrible. So like, if she's paid, I think she's at like $30,000 at one point. Then they told her that it would be another 45 or something like that to kind of maybe try to correct it, and it may not work. She said that her primary health care doctor said that she's crazy. Sometimes when they can't really just pinpoint it, they'll start to say it's in someone's head. But let me tell you, when people complain like that, and they do all the testing and everything that they can, and they can't find anything, don't you know that that's the worst thing a person to tell a person is that it's all in their head? Now, if they're living basically a normal life otherwise besides the issue that they're having, especially if that's the case, they haven't had any other mental issues or documented mental issues, and everything, you talk to him about everything else, everything seems fine. You can't even, I can't even imagine how people would feel. I can imagine anger, for someone to tell you that something is all in your head. And a lot of times, people don't sue people for no reason, you know? And the thing about this that makes me curious about it is that she said that when she went to back, they offered her money back. They offered her money back. But I think, along with that, if you've paid like $35,000 to have your teeth done, and then they're going to give you your money back, that's going to be some signing of some papers somewhere, right? Saying you cannot talk about this, you cannot mention their names, all kinds of stuff. So she didn't take the money. She didn't take the money because she said she wants to bring awareness to it. And y'all, I just don't know. Oh, Tariq says he prefer braces. Uh, Angela I says she prefer braces. No plans for this week yet. Angela paying bills. Kicking it with Lynn speaking. So what would you, I don't know. Like, don't imagine yourself in that situation. You gotta be careful how you say things, but like, what would one do, or what do you guys think that one should do in a situation like that? Because I've gone to the dentist before, and I'm not gonna lie to you, y'all. The money that they charge you, and then you, like a day or two later, you seem like you're still having that issue or something different, but in the same area. It's enough to really, really tick you off. It's enough to really tick you off. Okay, Angel. Yeah, they don't want you to talk. They don't want you to talk. Hey, Vaughn. Welcome to the chat, Vaughn. Yes, Tariq. They don't want you to talk, so they make you sign those NDAs. They make you sign NDAs. They make you sign a whole bunch of crap. But they did her veneers, and she went back. She said she has to wear a retainer every day. Every day. And she's gone to, like, whatever they did or whatever happened, she said that she thinks it's made her have TMJ. So now she's gone to 3 or 4 different TMJ doctors. And see, that is why I say, don't be so quick to call people crazy. Don't be so quick to say this or say that. And sadly, sometimes that does happen when someone performs a certain procedure and you're telling them that it hurts or that it's not comfortable or it's just not right. And they keep saying, well, I've done this, I've done that, I fixed this, I fixed that. And let me tell you, a lot of doctors don't like to go behind other doctors. A lot of dentists don't like to go behind other dentists when you have an issue, because they don't want to be added into all of that, So there are some doctors who will do it, but a lot of times doctors just don't want to. When you go to a doctor, like she went to that office and she had her veneers done, and she said that she can barely close her mouth. She looks funny. She said that in her eyes, she didn't look funny to me, but she knows what she's talking about. She can barely close her mouth, she said, and she has to wear a retainer every day. So, and the sad part is that she had veneers before this, and they were fine. They were fine. So how far will you go to change your looks? Like, I think nobody's perfect. But then again, people can feel perfect. I heard someone say that people can't lie. There's not one person who's perfect with themselves. But I'm like, who? They said that would be a holier than thou attitude. And I'm like, who are you to say that? Who are you to say that? There are a lot of people who are perfectly fine with the way they look. Whether you may not think that they look perfect, but a lot of people are perfectly fine. And I think people should be perfectly fine more, because yes, do we all have flaws, or do we all have something that maybe we would change? But I can't say that. I haven't spoken to every person on this earth. There are some people who feel like there is nothing about them that they would change. So if they say that, how is that having a holier than thou attitude? You got some people who say they wouldn't have any type of elective procedure done for anything in the world. Even the ones who do feel like maybe they could get a wrinkle out here, or maybe they could, trim their nose down a little bit this way. Maybe they can lift the cheeks up a little bit. Maybe they can snatch the waist a little bit. You got some people who are very, very, very fine with the way that they look. So to say that if someone says that they're okay and they don't, have anything that they would like to change, makes them holier than thou, that makes you sound really ignorant, you know, really, really ignorant. Just because, and the person who said it, he's had some things done. So don't make everybody else unsatisfied with their appearance because you decided to have some things done. If you ask most people, yeah, most people probably would say that they'd, make this a little bit tighter, this a little bit looser or thinner or whatever. But it doesn't mean that they feel like they have flaws. You know, every person was made individually, okay? Every person was created individually. And for so long, we've lived to certain standards of perfection when it comes to, crossing racial barriers to now. And it's the worst within our race. Everything is this way or it's not perfect. It's got to be that way. It's bad in all races. It really is. And now you have people who get these things done. And what do? What did K. Michelle do? Then they want the stuff out. They want the stuff out. So I'm like, what do you want us to say to you? Before you got it done, I'm sure people probably said, well, yeah, maybe a little bit here and a little bit there. But I'm sure that there were also people who told you, you look just fine. Why are you getting this done? And you probably what? You got perturbed by them saying that. Then you went and got something done. And for some people, it works fine, just perfectly fine. And for other people, they're like, I need to do this and I need to take this out. And then you go back to your same family or group of friends and you're like, I think I want to remove this. You cannot get mad when some of them kind of look at you like, I told you were fine anyway. Some people are going to get mad at you always based on the things that they chose to do. Now, if you go back to your friend and say, you know what, I did get a little bit too much. And your friend says, well, I told you didn't need that much, or I told you, in my opinion, you were fine. You look real ignorant saying, what? That's your opinion. Like, why are you getting mad? You asked for her opinion to begin with, and you did what you wanted to do, right? So now you're thinking, maybe that was a little bit too much. So maybe I need to do this. So you're asking her opinion again, and just because she references what she told you the first time, you get an attitude? Come on now. Come on now. Just don't ask people. Because guess what? People are going to have an opinion anyway. Just don't ask people, because some people have an opinion. Some people, you know what? When we talk about opinions, everybody deserves the right to an opinion. But some people just talk too much. You know what I'm saying? Some people just talk too much. Like, and then they get mad because every action draws a what? Opposite, maybe not so equal reaction, right? So if you say, oh, he got this and it looks like this. Every tone is everything, y'all. I always say it's not always sometimes it's not a lot of times it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And then you will say it in the nastiest way and get an attitude when somebody snap back. Okay? So just be careful of the way that you criticize people, the tone that you use when you critique people, because we are each different, okay? And like he said, to say that you wouldn't change anything about yourself is being holier than thou. No, it's not. Some people are completely satisfied with the tone of their skin being real dark. Some people are completely satisfied with the tone of their skin being really, really light. Some people are completely satisfied being short, satisfied being tall. They've been that way all their lives, besides when they were a kid probably. So they were probably the shortest kid in elementary school. By the time graduation came around, they were probably the tallest kid. So you got to think about things before you criticize and critique other people's looks and things like that. Because when that person comes back, if you want to say, oh, he's really, really black or he's really, really dark, and then you try to pretty it up and say, and his skin is so smooth and beautiful. A lot of times people will do stuff like that and they'll catch it. They'll notice that their tone may have come across a little rude, a little ugly, a little nice nasty. Y'all remember nice nasty? That's what our parents taught us about, being nice nasty. Okay? Then that person says, oh, well, your behind is just as flat as this piece of paper. I wish mine were that flat. You know they don't mean that crap. You know, but you're gonna get mad, right? You're gonna get mad. So watch what you say to people and watch the tone that you say. And then there are a lot of things people do that they act like they haven't been, raised and groomed to know not to do. You know, you never talk about, just like when you break up with somebody. My grandparents used to say, never talk about somebody under their dress or under their pants. You were with them, you know, you were with them, so now you want to talk bad about them like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. We as individuals, we as human beings, yeah, we all say some things that sometimes we have to think twice and take back. But what I think we always need to remember that is that what is small to you, when you say it to somebody, it may be big to them. Okay? I say that all the time. What's small to you and what's not a big deal to you, it may be big to somebody else. So don't do that. Don't do that. What's small to you may be big to somebody else. Whatever little jokey joke you crack, you never know if they had to put up with that joke throughout their whole high school time. You know, be careful of what you say to people. Now, when people say mean things to you, of course, it is what it is. Every action draws an opposite, sometimes not so equal reaction. Sometimes not so equal reaction. Let me catch some of these comments. Tariq, what you retract? What you retracting, Tariq? Ms. Lynn says, I say do whatever works for you. Right. What you can afford. Exactly. I would do braces though, but insurance don't pay for adult braces. That is so strange. That is so strange. Because you remember it used to be a time where people were like, why are you getting braces and you're like in your 30s? Why are you getting braces in your 40s, in your 50s? Well, guess what? Some people have really taken care of their teeth, okay? But maybe they just weren't so straight. So maybe they can afford braces now. So maybe that's why they're getting braces in their 30s and 40s and 50s, okay? Maybe that's why. They don't want to be held responsible for the damages. Right, right, because they had it. They were saying that they would give her the money back, Tariq, because, if someone's going to offer you $35,000, I think it was 35, they're going to offer you $35,000 back. That means they feel like maybe there was something, that maybe happened there. Maybe it happened there. They're going to think something, it may have happened. Maybe they did something that wasn't quite right. Tariq says, I'm honestly comfortable in my own skin. Right. And so when he said that, if you say you don't want anything changed, you're being holier than thou. I said, no, what that is that you've had some things done. And so a lot of people, probably was none of their business, had an opinion about it and said that you shouldn't have had it done, made you feel a certain type of way, or maybe they say it didn't really fix anything or something like that. And so now when people say they are perfectly fine with the way that they are, you're saying that that's holier than thou. No, it's not. What did we do before cosmetic surgery? People dealt with their, if makeup couldn't correct it, you dealt with it, okay? And nowadays, makeup has become so advanced. Sometimes makeup can correct a lot of things. I've seen news anchors who've had vitiligo, which is a skin condition where people, usually black and brown people, will lose some of the pigment in their skin. But there are some Caucasians who have vitiligo as well. So, a lot of times people will say they'll change their skin and they'll say something like it was a skin condition. I'm not going to say if it was or not because I don't know. I'm not their doctor. But for a long time, makeup was basically the only thing that you could use. And so now that there's cosmetic surgery, I say to each their own. But I do say, unless it's going to help something like with your nose. If you have sinus issues or something like that, and you've kind of been wanting your nose to be a certain way, maybe that might be a good opportunity to see, to see if you can have some rhinoplasty done. But, and a lot of times it depends on the shape of someone's nose and things like that causes them to snore or have sinus issues and other things like that. So sometimes it's even suggested for them to have rhinoplasty. But then when you're talking about this completely elective cosmetic surgery, no, I ain't trying. I mean, like Ms. Glenn said, to each his own. But I'm like, nah, uh-uh. And then you have people who lose an extreme amount of weight, an extreme amount of weight. I can understand why they would want to have some skin pulled, some skin tightened, hey, show enough, and things like that. So I just feel like when it comes to cosmetic surgery, when it comes to any elective surgery, to each its own. But if you have it done, don't take the attitude that everybody else wants to have something done, because that's not true. That's not true. Some people are perfectly fine with the way that they are. Whether the 10 other people in the room feel like they're perfect or not, they're perfectly fine with it. They may not feel like they're perfect, and then again they may. But the most important thing is that they're perfectly fine about it. Okay? So that's why I wanted to talk about that imperfectly perfect. Just because you don't feel like a person is perfect, it doesn't mean that they don't feel like they're perfect. They may know that they have a scar here and a scar there. They may feel like that scar makes them perfectly them. Perfectly them, perfectly who they are. So when people say that they're fine with the way that they are, because I think his thing was too kind of like, a lot of y'all probably just can't afford it. Who cares? I've seen celebrities who can definitely afford it, and they haven't had things done. It may be hard to believe but there are still some celebrities and people who make a lot of money who haven't had cosmetic surgery. I think a lot of people think that if you got money like that, then you've had something done. That's not so. And then, a lot of times just lay people, average people, not people making millions, they have things done too. They save up, they get things done, you know, and sometimes it turns out good. Sometimes they wish they hadn't done it. So I just say do your research. Really, really do your research, and let that be a decision between you, your family, and your doctor. Don't worry about what other people say, because even after you have that surgery done, guess what? Some people become addicted to that. Some people, have you guys ever witnessed people become addicted to cosmetic surgery? Hey, show enough. Hello, Lounge Prize, Mazel Chats passing through to support. Thank you. I appreciate you. Slim says, hey, show enough. Everybody speaking to show enough. Tariq says, people don't understand that we're different and prefer to live life on our own terms. To come preach, Tariq, instead of following the crowd and or religion. Yes, yes. Lynn says, yeah, people got to do what makes them happy. If it works for you, right, go for it. Lines, I wish I had a behind, but but I keep my pancakes. Only thing that's affects my health, I would change. Okay, right. Like that's my thing. It's like there are a lot of things that we can do through exercise, through the things that we eat, to kind of enhance certain parts of our bodies. Like when you lose weight, you can't determine where the fat falls off. Like you'll have someone who may have a snatched waist. They may look like they're a big person, but you can look at them and tell that if they were to lose weight, because I've seen that. You just see there are certain body types. Some people are just bigger than others. Some are smaller than others. But like when you see people do the before and after pictures and their waist looks so nice, a lot of times people assume that they had surgery, and some maybe do, but there are a lot of people who their after picture, it isn't that they had surgery. If you look at the before picture, you can tell that their waist was small even then, that they had an hourglass even then. And so when they lose the weight, you see the hourglass better. Okay, you see the hourglass better. That's okay, Angel. Welcome back. You see the hourglass better. Some people, if you look, if you want some of those, instead of getting those BBLs, go and do those squats. Okay, go do those backward leg lifts, those backward leg raises. Go do those squats. Okay, squeeze and release those glutes. Squeeze and release those glutes. It may not look like you got a basketball back there, but it will make you look a little bit better. It'll make you look a little bit better. it'll make it look a little bit better. So, and a lot of times people they're like, they maybe want cosmetic surgery, but they don't feel like they want to spend that type of money when they can spend that type of money on something else, on their kids, on their spouse, on their home, home improvements, make things easier for them around the home, maybe on a good vacation, you know. So instead of spending that money to get a BBL, they'll like say, look, I'm just going to make myself exercise. I'm going to make myself exercise, and I'm going to I'm going to become motivated to lose the weight that I can, if that's what it is. And some people, again, it's not to lose weight. It's just, to look different. They want a different look. So they decide, I'm just going to start being more fit. Because if you look at some people, they don't exercise to lose weight. And honestly, we shouldn't. I think everyone should exercise. You exercise for fitness. Now, you have those people who want to lose weight, and so they have to plan accordingly. Their exercise plans have to fit their goals. Your exercise plans have to fit your goals, okay? Some people's goals are to lose weight. So you have to develop a plan, have someone help you to develop a plan to do that. Some people exercise for fitness, and I think we all should do that. I don't care how skinny you are or how big you are. Everyone should exercise for fitness, okay? And you start to focus on the fitness, then you'll feel better. And if losing weight is a goal, that will come a little bit easier. That'll come a little bit easier. Angel says, I'm getting ready to start my walk at 6 p.m. Okay, that's good, Angel. That's good, Angel. Be careful. I'm glad you're feeling better. You're feeling better enough to walk today. So that's great. Lynn says, I lost a lot of weight in my face, and I wish it would have been more of my stomach, but I can't control weight. Exactly, Lynn. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, is that you can muscle train. If you want your arms to look toned, you can just focus on arms. If you want your legs to look toned, you can focus on muscle, but you can't determine where the fat falls off. Like, fat is going to fall. That's why some people, you see them and they're pretty busty. Say they're busty or hippie. They're pretty hippie. And they're like, I lost weight, but my boobs are still this size, or my boobs didn't lose too much. That's because we can't control where the fat falls off. That's the one thing we can't control. We can't control where the fat falls off, but we can control where we tone up. So we can control where we tone muscle. Now, sometimes, so you have someone right now saying, well, what does she mean? I see people who've lost a lot of weight, and if they lift their arms, it's like flap, flop, 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 flop. Well, that's extra skin. That's extra skin. To get rid of that extra skin after it's been stretched for so long, or for like people who have problems losing weight, one season they're up, one season they're down, one season they're up, and it's been like that for a long time, that skin becomes stretched. Okay? That skin becomes stretched. So that skin becomes stretched. So it doesn't matter how much they tone up, they're still going to have that extra skin. And so I can understand those people who go and get that kind of tucked away. They get that tucked away. They get that tucked away. And then it's like, people act like people aren't entitled to change their minds too. Like, you may say today you'll never have plastic surgery, okay? Next week, you may change your mind. You may actually have something done. A year or two later, you may be like, I wish I hadn't had that done. So people are entitled to change their minds. The thing about it is, when you do something, make sure that if there's a possibility that your mind may change later, that you can work with it, okay? That you can work with it. Make sure that you'll be able to work with whatever you did. Because looking at these stories where people are getting those implants out of their certain areas of their bodies, I don't know. So whatever you plan to do, do what you want to do what you can afford to do what you've prepared yourself mentally to do. I don't know if they still do it, but I think when all this cosmetic stuff first started, you had to take some type of, you had to see a therapist or a psychologist or psychiatrist or something like that, just to make sure everything was, as normal as possible. As normal as possible, on a general scale, because everybody's normal is different mentally. So, they have these rubrics that they use to determine if mentally, okay, you're in a good place to have this done. And if a doctor decides that you're not, guess what? He's going to probably refuse to do it. And that's when you hear about these people that go place to place, place to place, looking for someone who will do what they want. Or like, I don't know if you guys have seen that human Ken doll. There's probably a lot of them, but there was one that they really talked about a while ago. And he was to the point where they were like, no, like, what else do you want us to do? Like, he was, I don't even know, he probably didn't have, the amount of fat on his body was probably like maybe 5%, I don't know. It was so little. They were like, what do you want us to do? Like, what else is it for us to do? And so they were saying no. They were saying no. So it is a money-making business. It is a very profitable business. And if you want to pay them your money, guess what? Most of the times they're going to take it. Most of the times they're going to take it unless you can find a doctor with good ethics, okay? With some integrity and with some ethics, good morals. Because some of them, as long as you got the money, they'll do whatever you ask, however you ask. Kingdom William says, I had a breast reduction. I don't like big boobs. My husband loved them. But I was the one carrying them. See? See? And even though your husband loved them, it was about you. What made you feel better? It was about you, Miss Lynn, about what made you feel better. Like I said, you had to carry them. So even though he liked them, you were like, you needed to do something about that. Okay? And guess what? He loves you just the same. He loves you just the same. I don't know. I think a lot of people, I don't know if it's like an issue with them loving themselves. Some people it is. Some people it is. Probably a lot of people it is. They probably feel like they can't love themselves because of that particular thing they consider a flaw. Some people, it's about what somebody else feels. And at the end of the day, when it comes to your body and the changes that you make, you have to base, even when it comes to your spouse, that is one of those few things where you can discuss it with them, but you have to do that based on how you feel. You have to make those decisions according to how it makes you feel, not someone else. Not someone else. Don't, okay, Tariq. Put it on a poster. Put it somewhere. Put it on a marquee. Don't make a permanent decision over temporary conditions. Okay? Especially when it comes to things that you're doing to your body. Okay? Really, Lynn? Lynn says her back was hurting. Angel says, yes, Lynn, you do a lot. Angel says, Lynn, my back be hurting. Also, I'm tired of these. You're tired of them, Angel? Y'all, I can remember I had a friend who had a reduction done, and her little boy, her little son was like maybe, he was about, let me see, he was about 2, almost 3, 2 or 3. And she had, you have your recovery time or whatever, your recovery period, not whatever, but she was getting in her truck. And he was like really clingy. You know how toddlers are. Sometimes they got those moments when they really want to hug on you and love on you. And then they got those moments where they could just like, they doing their own thing. You think they're grown. They think they're grown. Well, he was having one of his mommy moments. He wanted to hug on her, y'all. And it wasn't like he tried to do it. He just grabbed her. And it was like, she said, boy, you popped my... And we jumped, everybody jumped. And it was like, you know how like when something is funny after you realize they're okay? So he grabbed her, y'all. He was giving her one of those big mommy hugs. And then she was like, boy, you done popped me on my. That joke was hilarious. It was hilarious after we realized she was okay. Good thing she was like really, she was up and out and about. You know, she wasn't at that stage where she was still at home and all that. She was out and about, but the reduction was still new. The reduction was still new. Angel says, I don't want no cup sizes. Lodge Pride, yes, I've been having these things since the sixth grade. Ooh, ooh. You know what? When people have them, when they're really big, I wonder, most people realize the moment that they, could tell, like, geez, they're huge. You know what I'm saying? Like, because as we're growing, we really don't a lot of times pay attention. Our parents and other people are paying more attention to, oh, he's gotten tall, or oh, she's gotten tall, or he's stretching out. Like maybe the child was a little bit on the heavy side and now they're slimming down, or maybe they were slim and now they're picking up weight. Usually, as kids especially, now as adults, yeah, we pay close attention, and as teenagers, of course. And you do have some young children. I'll say like 10, at the age of starting at around 8 to 10. But when you're like 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, and people are developing so much faster now. Kids are developing so much faster. And I know each generation says that, but I wonder, do people really realize or remember that particular time where they felt like they aren't normal size anymore. They're just like big. Maybe they're big, or they felt like, geez, these are really big. Did it take them noticing they were bigger than most of their friends, or smaller than most of their friends? Because, sometimes it's the issue of being smaller. Let me see. Lynn says, Angel eyes, for real though, I told my doctor I wanted to be flat chested as I could, but my husband said, no, don't get rid of them. The doctor do them according to your body size. Yep. Yeah. That's what most doctors would definitely suggest, like according to your body size when you're doing a reduction. And when you're getting more, they try to tell people, but some people just have a fixation on, they want big, go big or go home. And, the doctor is like, ugh, trying to tell them, even whether they are reducing or increasing, they want to do it so that it'll look proportionate for your body type, your body size. Tariq says, I was the tallest in elementary school. So you were the tallest in elementary school, but I bet by the time you graduated, you weren't. Or were you? Were you, Tariq? Were you still taller than most by the time you graduated high school? Angel says, Keaton William, for real, if I am able to ever get a breast reduction, I'm going to tell and beg the doctor I want to be able to eat without feeding them. Angel is so funny. Oh my goodness. Oh, y'all see now it's back to what it was when I was looking out the window. When I was on my elliptical, I was looking outside and I could see the branches and the leaves just, swaying from side to side. I'm starting to feel that breeze now, thank goodness. And I've been on here an hour and I'm just now starting to feel that breeze that I saw before I came out here. But yes, y'all, just, don't be such harsh critics about other people's bodies, okay? Let's try not to be such harsh critics about other people's bodies, because for one, there are a plethora of body types, okay? For two, people can't control their body type. Now, sometimes they can control their weight, but as far as their body type, it's just like I was saying earlier. You can have a person who's 5'5" and 250 pounds. Okay, that may look heavy, but you can still kind of look at that person and tell if they were to lose weight, if they would still have like a small waist. I don't know. I think most people can tell. I can tell. It's just something about body types, You can have a person with a real tiny waist. She'd be 5'2" and 100 pounds. And you can have a person with a big waist, or what appears to be a big waist, because they may be 5'5" and they're 250, but there's still something about the way that they are shaped that you can tell if they were to lose weight, you better hide your husbands, hide your wives, hide your, okay? Okay? And you better hide them anyway. Because a lot of people like big women, okay? Big, beautiful women, the same as they like small, beautiful women, okay? A lot of people like big, beautiful women just as much as they like small, beautiful women. How tall are you now? Tariq says he's 6'1" now. Yes, yes, that's a nice height. That is. Tariq says, not really. At that point, I just looked older than what I was. Okay, I got you. Let me tell you something about these young men. The young men do look older now. Like, I know, like when most people are in like high school, girls tend to date guys that are like 2 or 3 years older. Like if she's a freshman, he's probably a junior or a sophomore. You know, sometimes they'll date freshmen and sophomores as well. But he's probably usually he's probably, if she's a freshman, no, not a sophomore. If she's a freshman, her boyfriend is probably a junior or senior. Okay, and if she's a sophomore, he's probably a junior or senior. But the guys in ninth grade, they're still kind of, maybe not the girls at their school, because usually they kind of separate high school from everything else, but they kind of still like the 7th and 8th graders, the girls that are a year or two younger. And I still do think that girls mature faster, but nowadays it's hard to tell. Nowadays it's hard to tell. Because nowadays you have senior girls loving on the sophomore young men, okay? It's just like as you get older, you have women in their 40s loving on a man who maybe is 31, 32 years old. And he's loving on those women in their 40s. So, you know, I can remember our grandparents and my great-grandparents telling us that girls mature faster than boys. And you could even see that in literature. You would see that like in books and magazines. Girls mature faster than boys. So usually girls tend to date guys who might be 3 to 5 years older. Okay? Because those guys are a little bit more mature than guys their age. So the guys their age, of course, are dating girls 2 or 3 years younger. But now, it's like you date whoever you want to. You can be 50 and they can be 35 or vice versa. Okay? Because these young men nowadays, they do seem to have caught up when it comes to maturity. When it comes to maturity, they do seem to have caught up. And that wasn't to say that guys were immature. It's just that if you took a 15-year-old young man and a 15-year-old young lady, they tend to mature differently. It's not the case across the board, but it's just generally speaking. Just generally, and they may even say that now. We get off this live, y'all look it up and see if it'll say, do adolescent girls mature quicker than adolescent boys their own age? It may even say that now, because it used to literally be in literature. It was written down. Tariq says, my pleasure as always. Are you out of here, Tariq? Or is that Angel getting out of here? It is a nice height. Angel says, I'm happy with myself except for the boobs. Yeah, I think a lot of people are happy with themselves. And that's not to say that they're perfect, but I think that they're happy with themselves. They're perfect for them. They may, know that they have some things that they wish were different. Some of those things they maybe wish they could change. And some of those things they may not necessarily wish they could change, but they just maybe wish that their nose was a little bit slimmer. Or they wish that their nose was a little bit wider. They wish that their lips were a little bit fuller. They wish that their lips were a little bit thinner. But it's nothing to make them obsess over. Nothing to make them obsess over. At the same time. And at the same time, they will tell you. They will tell you how they feel about that particular body part or whatever. But they'll also say, well, I'm not going to do anything to change it. It's perfect for me. So when I heard that young man say, if you say that there's nothing about yourself physically, your appearance that you would change, that you're being holier than thou, he sounded really ignorant to me. And the holier than thou was for me, I felt like he was being holier than thou. But I think what he was really doing was trying to justify the cosmetic surgery that he had done. So, a lot of times that's why I say to each his own. Because if people start to hear something a lot, then they'll start to justify it by demeaning other people or saying what other people would do or wouldn't do. And nobody knows you don't know what your family members would do. You have an idea, you have a belief, but you never know. You never know when it comes to certain situations. So he was saying that people saying that they were perfect with the way they are, they wouldn't, or saying, not really saying that they were perfect, but saying that they wouldn't change anything, that was a holier than thou attitude. And I was like, no, what's holier than thou is you thinking that everybody has a flaw that affects them enough that they would want to change. Everybody's not you. That applied to him. When I was growing up, chicks were getting pregnant as early as middle school life. Tariq, that's every generation. I tried to catch that music, y'all. That's every generation. It's like, if you could talk to your parents and your grandparents, I bet they'd tell you the same thing. Now, that said, a lot of times, don't let the parents and grandparents fool you, because they'll say something like, back in my day, when you didn't do that. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Because my great-great-grandmother lived till I was 15. And what happened was, sometimes back in those days when they did, they would send them up north. If they were in the south, or if they were up north, and depending on the way their family thought, if they had family down south, they would send them down south right before they start the show. And they'd have their babies, right? And then they'd come back home. And then the next thing you know, there's a baby. And sometimes they're saying that baby is the cousin to somebody from down south or up north. And then it comes out that, that was little Teresa's baby. When she went down south to stay with her auntie for 2 years, that's why they really sent her down south. Or that's why they sent her up north. Okay? That's what they'll say. I have family that sent someone else somewhere else until after the baby was had. Now, I don't know, people just had certain ways of thinking back then. And when she went back home, nobody said that the baby wasn't hers. They said that the baby was hers. But for some reason, the parents did not want the community to see her pregnant, their teenage daughter pregnant. And I'm like, so are y'all just telling the other kids that the stork brought her the baby? Like the stork brought her the baby? But yeah, as far back as probably the early 1900s, people have done that. Gotten pregnant as teenagers. In what would be their middle school years, like 12, 13, 14 for some. Lunch Pride, you look fab. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. I appreciate the kind words and the compliment. I appreciate that, especially coming from you, because you motivate us as well, and you look great yourself. You definitely look great. When you start dancing, I get so tickled because I look at you dancing, like even in your intro video, and I'm like, she just dancing like she don't care. She's dancing like she doesn't care what you say, what you think, and that's how we're supposed to do. That's how we're supposed to do. You work on it, you work out, you do the things that you need to do to keep yourself looking vibrant. So I really do appreciate that coming from you. And that's what I like. That's why I always say that's what social media is supposed to be about. One beautiful person commenting another beautiful person. And just keep going on and on and on and on. And of course, we're going to hit that block of negativity every now and again. But when you're doing enough positive things and enough, saying enough, inspirational stuff to each other, you don't hang on to the negative as long. You don't hang on to the negative as long. So I really do appreciate you saying that, because I truly do respect you, and I really do. You look fabulous. You look fabulous. And like I say, you always have that attitude of, not that you don't care, but you don't care about what people think. Oh, y'all hear that? YouTube, that ain't me. Oh my God. Y'all, these people, I hate it when you live in a neighborhood that's kind of quiet, and you always gonna have that one or two that comes through and just blast music. Now, I'm of the opinion, to each his own with that, but nobody wants to hear your music. Nobody wants to hear your music. Okay, let me see. Again, thank you, Lynn. I had to stop. I had to figure out what I was going to do. I was going to have to go a whole different area, and I like to know the area I'm going, because even within neighborhoods, you never know who's got their dogs to loose. I hate for y'all to see me take off running. Look, because there's going to be two things that's going to happen. I'm going to take off running, one, or two, I'm going to think I can take him. And y'all ever saw a man fight a bear? Y'all gonna see a lion fight a fight a dog. But thank you again, thank you, Lynn. I appreciate that, coming from such a beautiful person, you know. And like I was thinking when I saw his comment, that man's comment, I'm like, yeah, everybody probably does have something. I would like to work on um, my stomach, like sometimes it's like you just, especially women, some days our stomachs are flat as pancakes. Other days it's all budgy and pudgy. And I just wanted to be flat all the time, okay? I just wanted to be flat all the time. That's why I can't stand it when I hear women just dogging each other about certain, you know, features. And especially if it's a woman who's paid to get certain features, dragging another lady. I'm like, really? Those are the ones I hate the most. Those who have paid to get their features the way they are, and those who have not paid, but they sit up every day and do nothing but criticize everybody else. And when you see them, you're like, whoop. It's like Scooby-Doo. It's a Scooby-Doo moment. You're like, whoop. Not you. Not you. Okay. Okay. And you try to keep it cute, and you're like, okay. Okay, I got it. I got it. I got it. Oh, what's the angel says? Kingdom with Lynn, yes she does. I wish my legs was like Angel, I bet you have beautiful legs. Let me tell you. And see, that's why I think I was so turned off by his comment, because even with our flaws, we can look back at ourselves when we were maybe 20 years ago, and things look so much better than they do today. And then today you look at them and you're like, ooh, this is, that's just a part of aging. It's just a part of aging. And all we can do is to try to make the aging process, deal with it in a way that it looks like we've done what we can do. Because Lord, keep living. Keep on living. And we all want to do that, right? So when these young women or young men, because I've seen young men talk down to older men, keep living. Life is precious, and you want to keep living, right? So you never know what you're going to look like in the next 15 and 20, in the next 10. They don't know what they're going to look like in 10 years. And they're downing other people, criticizing what they look like, And some of them, you got 40 and 50-year-olds looking better than them now. You have 40 and 50-year-olds looking better than some 25-year-olds right now. So it's like, I really hate it when I see really young people do that because I'm thinking, okay, you have kids, right? And even if you don't, guess what? At some point in your life, your kids are going to look at you the same way, and other people's children, other people are going to look at you. You're going to be 40 one day, you're going to be 50 one day. So, and you do want to be blessed to get older, right? So, imagine yourself hearing some of the things that you say to other people. I just think if people would imagine themselves hearing some of the things they say to other people, maybe they wouldn't say some of those things. But you got some people who are just evil. You got some people who are just evil. They be looking evil, looking older than I don't know what, and still be dragging and talking about other people. It just is what it is, y'all. It just is what it is. You have to kind of laugh at them. You have to laugh at them. Angel laughing at the scoop. I'm like, yeah, you're kind of like, what you say? Angel says, I'm bow leg. See, you got a lot of people who would love to be bow leg, and you have some bow leg people who enjoy the fact that they're bow leg, but you have some bow leg people who say they're too bow leg. They wish that they weren't as bow leg. But what I do not like is when I see these people pushing back on their joints and trying to stand certain ways on their legs, and they get so used to doing that. Like, do you not know that contributes to joint issues at a younger age? It makes you more prone to having joint issues. Okay, those little cute poses and stands, they're okay. But you got some people, they're not just doing it for a picture. They're doing it everywhere they go. They go to the beach. They're popping their legs, trying to look at like they're pigeon-toed and bow-legged at the same time, or bow-legged and they ain't even really bow-legged. I'm like, what is this about? It's just like when they used to tell them years ago, those pants hanging off your waist, and you trying to walk all gap-legged to keep them up. You ain't doing your hip joints no favors. You're not doing your hip joints and your knee joints any favors. But some people, they don't believe in science. They only want to do what they think looks cute. They don't believe in medicine when medicine tells them, don't wear your pants like that, because if you're wearing your pants like that, even if you're using a belt to help them stay at a certain level, that's just not comfortable. That's not normal on your joints. You're still going to have to kind of have a little twist in your walk to keep those pants up. And y'all, I've seen people whose pants are falling down. Falling down. And they didn't even have enough sense to at least at that point say, you know what? Maybe I'm doing a little bit too much. I've seen these ladies still in their 40s and 50s. They want to take a picture. Like I said, it's okay if you're just taking a picture when you do it. But you see them at events and they're just trying to just over-exaggerate a stance. And I'm like, and you complain about your knees hurting you. That ain't helping. It probably contributed to it. That's not helping. It probably contributed to it. Let me catch these comments. Your dad was bow-legged, Angel? Okay. Yeah, I think so. I think that's spelled right. Miss Lynn says, listen, I'm 57, and I'm going to be fabulous to myself. Okay. In my head, I can't help others don't believe that for themselves. All right. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. And that's whether you had something done or not. If you don't love you, if you don't think you look good, who else will? Because if you dwell on, like he said, everybody has something that they want. I mean, if that's the case, you'll always be around here worried about what other people think of you. Because that's honestly what it boils down to. I mean, for some people, it may just be they don't like something about themselves. But guess what? A lot of times, in this day and time, people have learned to accept it and move on. Accept it and move on. But some people are scared to get cosmetic surgery. And some people who aren't scared, like I said, they just don't want to spend that kind of money on that. And then some of them just come to the realization that, okay, it's not so bad. That's me. It may not be perfect to anyone else, and it may not even be perfect to them. But you have to learn that you're imperfectly you. You're imperfectly you. What Angel said, what you getting at Kroger's? Kicking with Lynn, I want to try that cake you had. Okay, where can I purchase it? Okay, I got you. Lynn saying at Kroger's. Angel, she be having some good looking food, don't she? King with then folks is miserable and they lead a miserable life. They mad at us because we are happy. Yeah, they'll look at you, and if you're happy, they'll try to find something about you to point out, to use to make you feel insecure. They'll try to find something to point out about you to use it to make you feel insecure. Angel says we don't have a Kroger in Oklahoma City. I don't think one that you can shop in. I wonder, can you order it though, Angel? Maybe you can order it. Lynn says, Angel, that's definitely true. They have those cakes at Walmart too. Okay, okay. Angel says I'm going to Walmart tomorrow. You're on the hunt. Angel says, Lynn, I'm 58 and we were where well, yes, yes, you do. You both do. You do. Angel says, yes, she does, and I'm going to make that spaghetti squash. She made it look Angel, when she made that, I looked at it and I was like, oh, because my kids make it, but they didn't. People season things differently and they make things differently. But the basics of it, they did it exactly like she did it. And then I think Lynn said something about it's on TikTok. See, I didn't know that. So is it like a TikTok thing that's just gone viral? Because my girls, they've been making it for like a couple of years, where they just scrape it all out. They make the mix like she did. They bake the spaghetti squash. Then they fill it and bake it just a few more minutes. When they bake it the second time, it's just a few more minutes because it's basically done. It's just to kind of get everything just kind of, together. Lynn says, Angel Eyes, you're beautiful inside and out. Keep wearing that, sis. Yes, keep wearing it, keep believing it, keep claiming it. Angel says, kicking it with Lynn. Thank you, beautiful lady. See, and that's what I feel like social media is all about. That's why I say it all the time. And if y'all will notice that people won't come into your chat where you have that kind of stuff going on. Even some people who say that they're positive, they'll make excuses. They'll say, well, they're talking about the same thing. Yeah, if you're going to talk about something that's positive or in the direction of positivity, you can talk about that all day, every day to me. Because people have enough negative things going on, with them, that they don't want to be on social media talking about negativity all the time. Like, we can talk about a negative topic that's going on or that we witness or that we see. Like when I was talking about celebrity news, if something's going on with the celebrity, we can give our input, our opinions about it. But if we're just talking about daily life, and that's what I like to talk about over here, there's so much we can talk about to drag each other down and to bring each other down. Not as so much as dragging a person down, but just to be all somber. There's a lot we can talk about. So that's why I like to talk about uplifting, motivating, and encouraging. Even if the lives seem like the same thing, that's what I want them to be. That's why you have this thing called a niche, a genre. That's why you have. It's just like I asked the question on my community wall. What type of movies do you like? And we talked about that yesterday. Well, there's not just going to be one horror movie. There's not going to just be one comedy. You're going to have a lot of them, a plethora of them. So that's what we want to have over here, a plethora of positive conversation. Positive conversation. Has it got negative before? As negative as I'll allow, as negative as I'll allow. Because sometimes as content creators, we face challenges and you face, like people say, the devil. The devil trying to move in on your space. You face that. And they be the main ones that's always talking about rebuking the devil. Okay? So we don't even have to say it's a devil reference. You just face challenges where people come from a point of misery, and misery loves company. And when I say misery, it doesn't mean that in a way. You could take misery in a lot of ways. Just like when we were talking about favorite movies, right? That man wasn't miserable. She inflicted misery though because she had some issues, and from the looks of it, she really wasn't miserable, but she was like kind of delusional, so out of her delusions and out of the things, her life being the way it was, she inflicted misery on him. So, misery can come Not really because the person is miserable or has some miserable things going on in life, but they have a miserable mindset. Okay? They have a miserable mindset. And hello, when I say a miserable mindset, it's like their mind is so encompassed around causing pain to other people. Okay? It's encompassed around causing pain or frustration or chaos for other people. And they may truly get a joy out of that. So when I say misery loves company, it doesn't necessarily always mean that the person is miserable. 9 times out of 10 they are. Sorry about that, y'all. Hey, Albert, I got a phone call. So it doesn't necessarily, and they'll tell you, they're quick to say, I'm not miserable. No, you're not, but you have a miserable mindset. You have a miserable mindset. Anybody who wants to make somebody feel a certain way or gets a thrill, you may even have a smile on your face, but you still have a miserable mindset. So there are a lot of ways to come off as miserable, okay? And that's why I always say when people invite you into their misery lounge, most of the times they're going to have a smile on their face. They're not going to present as miserable. They're going to have a smile on their face. Maybe a wicked smile, maybe a nice smile. You never know. But you don't find out until you get there and you mingle a little bit and you find out like, nah, this isn't where I want to be. This isn't where I want to be. So you leave their misery lounge and you go into your happy lounge, okay? Your happy lounge. You go into your happy lounge. Lines Pride, right. They were flocking the chat when someone is dragging people. Right. No, not me. I have to disassociate myself from negative. Right. Negativity, I can't. And that's why I say over here all the time, people might see me in the chat where there's some dragging going on, but they're not going to see me dragging. Okay? I'm going to say hello because there are a lot of people I like. You know, they have situations going on, but there's something about them that I like still. So if they've ever said something to me and tried to support me or sent someone, to support me, I let them know off the top. I might be in that chat, but I'm not about all of that, the negative stuff. Because that stuff gets your heart rate up, your blood pressure up. And even when you get offline, you're still thinking about that stuff because you're human. You're still thinking about it. So there are content creators who have some things going on in their chats. And some of them, I respect them. Because some of them, I appreciate where they're coming from with the content that they have. Like I was saying earlier today, every action draws an opposite and equal reaction. But the thing about that is sometimes the reaction isn't quite equal. Okay? So sometimes the reaction isn't quite equal. So when you do things to people, be prepared to expect the reaction. And it's not necessarily true that it's going to be equal. So I just say every action draws a reaction. Okay? Okay? And look, if your reaction seems like 110 and their action they feel like was an 80, well, who are they to tell you? Who are they to tell you? So that's why I say misery doesn't have to mean that the person is going through some bad things. I hope nobody is. But it means that sometimes they like to create misery. Some people like to create misery for other people. Lynn says, I bought clothes I normally wouldn't wear. I thought, yes, I am. Right. I'm going to do a try on, but I always say I want to wear this, but don't. Well, now I am. It's sexy yet classy. And come on, Lynn. Sexy, classy, lean. Okay. Okay. Angel says, keep it with Lynn. I will be waiting on that video. I know. Me too. We're going to share it out. We're going to share it out. Because a lot of times people won't wear clothes because they feel like, other people will have an opinion. Let me tell you, you can come outside dressed from head to toe and people are going to have an opinion. People are going to have an opinion. You can come outside dressed covered head to toe and people are going to have an opinion. Some will be good, some will be bad because we know that exists, and some will be kind of indifferent. They'll be like, well, I like it. It's not for me because I wouldn't want to be covered up. And to me, that's not a bad, thing to say. They're just speaking on you. Because bad would be just taking shots. And that's what we know people love to do, take shots. And then you have people who will say, well, it looks nice on her to me. So if that's what she likes, that's what she likes. To me, that's a nice opinion. Okay? So then you might come outside the next day in a one piece, headed to your pool in your backyard. In your own pool, in your own in your own one piece, in your own pool, in your own house, in your own backyard. And guess what? Somebody's gonna have something negative to say. Somebody's gonna have something negative to say. Lynn says, Angel Eyes, yes, it's coming. I'm not limiting myself because I see big, beautiful women. Okay, letting it all hang out. Letting it all hang out. I'm not gonna do that, but I'm switching it up. Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. Switch it up, switch it up. Angel says, you're absolutely right, man. Switch it up, switch it up. You know, and then like I said, you work out. Shoot, you got some of these people who don't work out. They don't care about working out. They don't care what they look like. Okay? You work out, you look nice. I don't care what your age is. Because if you've worked out, you've taken care of yourself to look that way, then wear what you want to wear. Wear what you want to wear. Each of us know what makes us, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, then you know maybe you shouldn't put that on. If your loved one says something, then maybe you know you should rethink it. But even in those situations, maybe they're just not used to seeing you with that on. Maybe it's just, they just need to get used to it, okay? Maybe they just need to get used to it. But as long as you know you're not overdoing it, you don't feel like you're overdoing it, wear what you want to wear. Wear what you want to wear. Because each person knows what looks right on them. Sometimes people don't. You know, some people will tell you in a New York second, they don't know, you know, they're not a fashionista. They just buy things that they think look okay. But if it comes down to kind of like dressing sexy or something like that, they may tell you that they never really do that, so they really don't know. And they know what clothes are sexy, but they may not know which ones to maybe wear because they don't do that much. And that's okay. Trial and error, trial and error. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Just ask your family, you know. Those will be the ones who will be hopefully the most honest with you and won't be judgmental and won't be trying to, you know, knock you down. You know, those will be the ones who will be honest with you. Now, like I said, sometimes the spouse may have to get a little used to it, okay? But you can ask your daughter. And sometimes the son, he's going to be almost like the spouse. He's going to be like, Mom, what you doing? But believe it or not, I know a lot of young men who, they say, when I'm at work, they be like, man, my mama don't dress like that. My mama dress like us. And they good with it. They good with it. They're good with it. They're absolutely good with it. They're absolutely good with it. Angel says, yes, we are. Yes, kicking with Lynn, you are absolutely right. And she's pretty. Yeah, she's pretty too. Come through, Lynn. Definitely. Skin is flawless. Skin is flawless. And always doing something with her hair. With her hair. Always doing something with her natural hair. It's pretty. Very pretty. Lynn says, I wear my stuff, I wear my slave stuff at home in front of my hubby. Angel says, I be embracing my sexy, but keep it classy. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. As long as we know how to keep it classy. It can be sexy, yet classy. Because, shoot, a lot of the stuff that very young women wear, when you look at their body types, you wonder why someone didn't tap them and say, hey. Not today. Maybe put that one on a little bit later. But right now, maybe you need to put on this. Or maybe you just need to change. I don't want to tell you what to put on. But you know, people are always so quick to jump on someone's age. As long as what you are wearing is appropriate and as long as it makes you feel good, and it may be something your 25-year-old daughter or niece would wear. If it looks nice on you, it looks nice on you. And sometimes that's the problem, y'all. Sometimes they feel like it looks a little too nice on you. And maybe a little bit nicer on you than it does on them. Okay? Okay? That is the main, you know, people get tired of the word hater. I think that's an overused word as well. But sometimes it is what it is, okay? It is what it is. People like for you to feel like they feel. If they wouldn't feel comfortable with it on, they don't want you to feel comfortable with it on. And so I'm like, okay, you have to question, why don't you feel comfortable with it on? We're nothing alike. We're not built to anything alike. Maybe there's a reason you wouldn't wear it, but I want to wear it. Maybe there's something that the next person would wear and we wouldn't wear it for whatever reason. Just let people do them. Let people wear what they want to wear. Let people do what they want to do. Just like we were talking about cosmetic surgery. Let people do what they want to do. When it comes to those more serious issues like surgeries, research, research, research. Plan, plan, plan. Okay? And know when to stop. Know when to stop. I think that's something that everybody can, I think that's just good advice no matter who it's to. Just know when to stop. Know when enough is enough, because sometimes people do get addicted to it. They get addicted to it. Angel says, I'm going to dress accordingly to my age, but sexy. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Well, see, sometimes people try to make you feel like there is nothing else that you can wear at a certain age that reflects sexiness. That's a lie. That's a lie. And then they'll see somebody on TV like who? Like Mary J. or like Angela Bassett. And they'll give them all the praise in the world. And a lot of those women are older than we are. They'll give them all the praise in the world. But just because you're a little bit maybe closer to them, or they can kind of reach you, well, even if it's on social media, they can have an interaction with you, whereas they can't with them, they'll try to make you feel bad. They'll try to make you feel bad. Angel asks, that's it. Always classy when we step out. Right. Wear the eye candy at home. I wouldn't disrespect myself or a husband showing everything. Absolutely. And I don't care what point in life you're at. You don't want to disrespect yourself or your spouse. As women, we don't. And that can be said the same for men. I would hope men would feel the same way. Dress just the way you want to dress, that makes you feel good, comfortable, confident, as long as it's respectful. As long as it's respectful for them and their spouse. That's all that matters. Angel said some of this stuff these young girls be wearing, some of this, that they don't need to have on. Body type don't be right, or it's just too much. Some stuff, there is no body type. Some stuff is just too much. Some stuff is just too little. Leave something to be desired. But people these days find any little cute saying to justify the things that they do that leave much to desired about their integrity. Okay? They'll say anything. They'll say, oh, well, you're just too old to wear it. No, because we've all been at your age at some point, and every generation has had skimpy clothing, okay? They've had something that's skimpy. Now, when it comes to the point now where people are basically damn near wearing bikinis or swimsuits as regular outfits in the store, and then they wonder why kids are talking about where babies come from. You can see where the babies come from. It's like you can see where they come from. And you know what they'll say? Oh, they'll say it's natural. They'll say it's natural. See, that's what these younger people and newer generations, and it's not just younger people. Some of it are older people, are the older people who want to still try to, I guess, be young or feel like that makes them appear to be younger. They will accept anything to get along. They'll go along with anything to get along. So I'm like, I said, what point is too much too much? Do those points not exist anymore? At what point is too much too much? And see, then we say the younger ones because they're quick to try to make an older person feel bad. But your day for 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, it's going to come too. Keep living. Keep on living. Everybody wants to live a long time, right? So the longer you live, the older you get. And those will be the very ones that you won't be able to tell nothing about the clothes that they're wearing because they become so accustomed to anything goes as long as it's okay. But they don't believe in what we're saying. Anything goes as long as it's age appropriate. Some things they say aren't age appropriate, and they are very much age appropriate for 40 women over 40, women over 35. They're very much age appropriate. It's the way you wear it, how you wear it, and as long as you're wearing something. Like I said, you got a lot of people who they really think it's okay to go into Walmart with a string bikini on and just walk around and shop and then wonder when people look. They wonder when people look because they're going to get some eyes. They're going to get some eyes. And if they left home like that, that's what they were leaving home like that for, to draw attention. But when they draw the attention that they like, it's all good. But the attention that they don't like, then you're a hater. No, you probably should have thought twice about running out here to Walmart like that. And I'm not just talking about skimpy clothes. Y'all, it gets on my nerves to see people, not so much in like sleepwear, because if your sleepwear is clean and it doesn't look like you've worn it all week to bed, I don't, I run into the store with a pair of pajama pants on and a t-shirt. If it's clean and it doesn't look like I slept in it Monday through Friday and I'm running into the store Saturday morning, you know. But you got some people that will run into the store with pajamas on, y'all, that look dirty. They look filthy. And so it's not just about being skimpy. It's just about just the things that people will wear nowadays, and just, and they could have done better. They could have done better. I mean, at church, they say, come as you are. If all you got is really some throw-on pants and PJ type clothes, wear those. But make sure that they're clean. Make sure that they're clean. Okay? They said, come as you are. Make sure that they're clean. Even if you have to wash them by hand, just make sure that they're clean. Because when pajama-like clothing gets dirty, they start to look smelly and look dirty. Even if you can't smell it, they start to look smelly and dirty. What Angel says some of this stuff these young girls be wearing, I would have never worn a thong to the pool. How big my body is, no ma'am. Liz says, y'all know I used to be so uncomfortable showing cleavage or showing my shoulders, but I'm evolving some. That's good. That's good. And I didn't buy this. It's cornbread fed. Okay? Okay? Lynn says, Angel Eyes, I see some of the stuff folks wear and say they definitely got a lot of nerve because it be too much. Yeah, but to each his own. Better them than me. That's exactly how you look at it. Angel says, absolutely. That's exactly how you have to look at it. Better them than me. Angel says, I think at a public pool with little kids around, they should wear a cover up. Yep. But guess what, Angel? They're getting further and further and further away from decency. People are getting further and further away from decency. Angel says, not dirty. Oh my God, that means this bed is dirty. Okay, exactly. Because they've worn it like so many times, or maybe it's just so raggedy. But I don't know. You can even tell the difference between raggedy and clean. I've seen someone wear clothes that are kind of ragged because that's all they really had, but they were clean. You could still tell they were clean. Some people just don't care. And Leah says, they should, Angel, they even let the daughters wear them. Right. Tight body hugging booties. Revealing revealing everything. Just everything. Clothes revealing everything. Angel says, Lynn, them men, yeah, they be with the wives and kids. Them husbands be looking straight ahead. They be looking straight ahead. Look, and as soon as the wife take the kids to the bathroom, man, those eyes get to darting. Those eyes get to darting. Y'all, it's so funny. Like, it's like you got to get to a point of like, have y'all ever just felt like, okay, it's okay if he looked like we were at a family function, y'all. I was at a family function, and one of my cousins, younger, probably 19, 20, and her boyfriend, who was probably like 23, 24. Okay, he was there with us, and She was like maybe a more distant cousin, like third or fourth cousin. And so my first cousin came, and she's like 34, 35. Y'all, she was covered up. She can't help. She can't help that she had to shake what our grannies gave her. What our grannies gave her mama, and the mama gave her. Y'all, she came in, and my younger cousin, the 19-year-old, and her boyfriend was sitting. And so my cousin is like 34, 35. She came in, not really having a care in the world, but when you got on those heels and you got on tight pants, it is what it is. It's so they were sitting down, and she was speaking, hey y'all, hey, just speaking to everybody, stopping, having a conversation. And when she walked by them, my 19-year-old cousin said, you better not look. That jump was hilarious, man. It was so funny. It was so funny. Like, it was funny, but it was also, I felt a little bad for him because it was like, he ain't even had the chance to look yet. And I was like, he probably already did. She got out the car. Man, that jump was so funny. She was like, you better not look. And I was like, dang, she must already have problems with that. She must already have problems with him looking. Because when my first cousin got out of the car, she was like, and she walked up the carport, and she was like, just like I said, just talking and talking. And then she was like, you better not look. And he was like, man, what you talking about? He was like, what are you talking about? He was like, you be embarrassing me. You be embarrassing me. And I can see that. I can see that that's embarrassing to him. But what I'm thinking is, my little cousin is mean. So I'm thinking either he's done it before and she's gotten used to getting on to him about it, and so she's just like expects it. And so she's just like, we're going to nip this in the bud. Because if you look, it's going to be a far worse argument than if I just tell you, you better not look. I think that's what she was thinking. If you look, it's going to be some HE double hockey sticks. But if I tell you not to look, yeah, your feelings going to be hurt, but it's going to be better for me. Y'all, I was hollering. I was laughing so hard. And so my cousin, she looked and she was like, what's going on? And my little cousin said, I told him he better not look at you. Girl, my cousin just laughed and laughed. It was so funny. She was just like, she said, leave your man alone. She said, he heard what I said. Y'all, that joke was hilarious. She said, he heard what I said. I told her, I said, don't say nothing else. Leave it alone, because she going to keep on talking. Leave it alone. She going to keep on talking. So she left it alone. And she wasn't mad at my cousin or anything. She was just telling him, putting him on alert. You better not look. You better not look. And I was like, oh my gosh, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? If you got this problem with him, you're not going to be able to get rid of it. So that's why I wondered, like, when is it okay just to look? Should you be mad when they look, or should you be mad because they've given you a real reason? You know, for her, that was a real reason. For a lot of people, that's a real reason. But for some people, even ladies, they say it's okay to look because ladies look. You know, because we look. I ain't gonna lie to you. He look good, I'm looking. He look good, I'm looking. Angel says, you know they do. Yeah, they be looking when they take him to the bathroom, girl. Lynn says, but you know what? I don't get mad at my husband looking. Look on. Okay. Look on. I'm not insecure. And she'll probably get better, especially once she gets used to him. And you know, with maturity, she'll probably get better. She's only 19, but she may not. She may not. Because I have been in some places and I've seen women in their 40s and 50s and they be like, is you looking at her? Lynn says, absolutely. Angel says, absolutely, Lynn. Me neither. Shoot, Lynn says, I be looking if he look good and smell good. Okay, me too. Shoot, ain't nothing wrong with looking. If you see me looking, that means you better do something to make sure I just look. So that's how we need to be. We need to do something to make sure they just look. Okay? We need to make sure that they just looking. Okay? I had one friend say she don't care if he look, because when he look, he come home and he turn up. Girl, I fell out laughing. I was like, what? She said, girl, I don't care if he look. She says, as long as he looking, and as long as I have no other suspicion, because when he looking, then that means he comes home and turns up. Y'all, I hollered. I hollered. Angel says, my mom used to say, you gave him your heart, not your eyes. That's a good one, Angel. That's a good one. Yep. Yep. People gotta look. People gonna look. People gotta look. They're gonna look. It's a difference. It's a difference between looking and gawking. You better not be gawking. Shoot. Cause you start to gawk, you being disrespectful. If you looking fine, shoot, probably every man there looks. But if you gawking, we got some problem. We got an issue. That's right, Angel. Your heart, not your eyes. And sometimes, y'all, it does be innocent. Sometimes it's really innocent. It's like when they make them mad and they think they look. Cause, cause he was like, you know, I ain't looking at your cousin. He's like, you know, I ain't looking at nobody up in here. Cause I don't know who's family and who's friends. I don't know. I'm not looking at nobody here. She was like, yeah, I don't care. Some of y'all look at family. And then so, like, after a while, it seemed like she kind of embarrassed him a little bit. But he kind of like, he was like, girl, you know I'm not looking at nobody else. He kind of cussed it because she is insecure. She is insecure. And like I said, she's a little bit younger. I think he's about 4 or 5 years older than her, which isn't a big difference if you're 25 and 30. But it's a little bit of a, mentally it's a little bit of a difference when you're 18, 19, and 23, 24. Both of them are still young, though. Angel says, I'm really enjoying myself. Angel, I can't believe I've been on here almost 2 hours. I gotta get my butt off here. I've been on here like 2 hours. That's the one thing I do hate a lot of times, y'all. Sometimes when people stay on for like 2 hours every time, and they're just like, they want you to stay in the live the whole time. And it's like, no, I'll stay in there for a good bit of the time, especially when it's a good conversation. But sometimes you gotta get ready for work the next day, or you gotta prepare your meal for the day, or you just gotta do some other stuff. So that's when I try to make sure I say, I'm still listening, and I'll leave them running. So that's why that's why I always talk about support. Some of the main people that talk about support don't support. Some of the main people that talk about support don't support. And then, I think they catch themselves sometimes and they'll be like, well, I don't never say nothing. But I'm like, okay, if you don't say nothing, you're not supporting, especially if we good like that and I say something in your chat. So it's like, it's so nice and refreshing because that's what you want to have too. You want to have genuine support, right? You want to have people who want to be where they are. And so that's what connections are about. It doesn't mean you have to be mad at somebody because they don't want to be in your chat. But they have to always understand too that you're going to support those who support you. But sometimes people are like, well, where are they being? And it's like they could probably, ask you the same thing. So I don't share our people as much as I would like to. Because sometimes you get home, you might, like I'll get home and I'm like, okay, I'm going to look at, that's why I respect Lucinda so much, y'all. Lucinda, she might not come on there every day, but when Lucinda comes to your channel, Lucinda Baxter, when she comes to your channel to show you some support, let me tell you, if Lucinda hadn't been in your channel in a month's time, Lucinda is going to give you a thumbs up, a smiley face. She's going to give you some emojis on during there every video or short that you've uploaded in that since the last time she's been there. And so you don't have to see her in your chat all the time. You don't have to ever see her in your chat. Some people, they're just not good with lives. Some people don't like being in lives. I'm finding myself not liking being in lives more and more. But I like to have lives, if that makes sense. I guess it's kind of like saying you don't like oranges, but you like orange flavored food or something like that. So I don't like to be in lives for long. I like to come in and say hello and then listen. Let them listen to them as they conduct their lives. But I do know that they want somebody in there. And if I don't see a lot of people in there, then that's different. I try to be in there. If they're live and there's hardly anybody in the chat, then yeah, I'll try to conversate more. I'll try to converse more. Lynn says we can look um, on the windows as long as we don't buy. Right, right. We're not even shopping. We're just looking, just looking. If they gawking, you better step your game. Okay, up at home. That's what I'm talking about. Try something different. Be exciting. Exactly. And that's why my friend said, "Oh, when he looks, it don't bother her. He just comes home and turns up." So I guess we know what that means. But if he looking and he ain't turning up, I guess she'll know she needs to step her game up. Okay, she needs to step her game up. Lynn says, "I truly enjoyed you guys as well." Yes, Lucinda is very, very supportive, and it doesn't matter, where she is, who she's a very neutral person wherever she goes, and that's what I like to be, neutral. I like to be neutral. That's why I say sometimes I don't, get into the chats a lot. I'll say hello. I like to come and say hello, and speak to a few people, and then go on because it may be a topic, that's maybe controversial or, how people are. They just, if you're in a chat, they act like you agree with everything that's going on. When with me, if I'm in a chat speaking, I just like the people in there because they've come over and spoke to me at some point. Or I like the content creator. So, people like who they like. Everybody is grown. Everybody's an adult. And when people don't like you, then they don't. You don't even have to make that announcement. Honestly, with social media, why you have to announce that you don't like somebody or that you do? I mean, if they see you hanging around or in the chat, they can assume that you do, I would say. But just because you're not in there doesn't mean that you don't like them either. But I just started to, like I said a couple of weeks ago, you use your discernment. And when you use your discernment, people would much rather you not use it. They much rather say you're paranoid or, you're not right, you're whatever. But discernment is everything. I've always been taught that. I've always believed that. And it's always, to me, been a really true statement. It's been a really true statement. Now, people don't always like it that some have discernment, but it is what it is. It is what it is. You see, you notice the things going on around you. I mean, that's anywhere. That's whether you're at work. And now with this thing called social media, we know that as well. So I try to go and, like I made a community post saying, reciprocation. Reciprocation means do unto me as I do unto you. Or I do unto you as you've done unto me. If there's someone coming here, just like Tariq. I've been checking Tariq, waiting to see if he's going to go live. Tariq has been very supportive. Tariq has been more supportive than people I've been on here knowing since the beginning, since I started to do content. So, yes, I'm going to support him. When Lynn uploads a video, I don't share all of them, but I try to catch some and I share them. I try to catch enough to let her know that I support good content. I support positive content. And some people, they'll just run through and they'll say, hey, I appreciate that. But then it's like with the chaos, man, they'll start to finish. But that's just people like what they like. Just like they say, you like horror movies, the next person likes comedy, the next person likes action, the next person likes drama. But I'm just thinking as a people, us as people, and y'all know what I mean? I think it should be, of course, there's always going to be drama amongst people, any group of people, anybody, race, creed, or color. But I just think some people should be better at being good to each other. Being good to each other. Or at least being neutral. Being neutral. You don't have to be good to anybody. Just don't be bad to them, okay? Don't be bad to them. Lynn says, I've truly enjoyed you guys as well. Yeah, oh, okay, I saw that. So I'm going to get out of here, y'all. It's like, what? It's been 2 hours. It's been 2 hours. And it feels so good out here. I'm not tired of walking. I wasn't walking that fast. So I guess that's why I want to just keep walking and keep walking and keep walking. And that's the thing. Look at the legs move. Look at the legs move. That's what I encourage you guys to do when I'm live. That's why you see my legs moving. If you come across this replay, nothing said in this video is meant to be professional advice. Nothing. We don't diagnose. Okay. We don't do professional assessments. We're lay people. We're lay people. We don't diagnose. We don't do professional assessments because we're not licensed and trained. We're not clinically trained to do so. So what we do is we motivate, we encourage, we uplift, and we share nuggets. Okay. We share nuggets. Some of those nuggets you can jump off of this live and you can Google. You can Google and find on reputable sources. Some of it you can just find it, no matter what the source is. So that's why we don't give professional advice. We motivate, uplift, encourage. We teach, all of those purposes, okay? Informational, teaching, learning purposes only. From one to another, from a layman's perspective, from a layman's point of view. Always, always, always consult your healthcare provider, your doctor, your nurse practitioner, your physician's assistant when starting a workout routine, okay? Always, especially if you've never worked out or if it's been a long time, okay? If you've never worked out or if it's been a long time. Because what works for you may or may not work for someone else. And you may have issues, certain health issues that may mean you need to start at a low intensity and then gradually work your way up to a moderate intensity and then maybe even a high intensity. You may have issues that'll keep you low intensity. You may have issues that'll keep you moderate. And you may have issues that are okay for you to work out however you want to. It can be as strenuous as you want it to be. But make sure you contact your healthcare provider to find that out, okay? And as always, regardless of what anyone says, listen to your body. If it says to slow down, slow down. If it says to stop, stop. Get you some rest and start again later, okay? Get you some rest and start again later. Angel says, I'm going to go walk at 7. Me and Roxy not missing this live. Angel, look, Angel, I'm about to get out of here because I want you to go and walk. I'm glad you're feeling better. And thank you, Lynn. Thank you, and Angel, for hanging around for mostly the entire live. I appreciate you ladies because you could have been doing anything else and anywhere else. And you were here with me. So I appreciate the support. And we're ladies. We know how to multitask, okay? Most 9.9 times out of 10 when we're on here, we're multitasking anyway. So I appreciate being a part of your task, whether you are multitasking or not. I appreciate you ladies. And y'all know what I do now is peace, positivity, and prosperity. Without peace, there's chaos. Without positivity, there's negativity. Wherever chaos and negativity live and roam together, you fail to prosper to your fullest potential. I want you guys to prosper. I want to prosper. We all want to prosper. So don't let bothered people bother you. And don't let stressed people stress you out. Because stressed people will stress you out if you allow it, okay? Remember what I said. If you find yourself in a misery lounge, leave and go into your happy lounge. Go into your happy lounge. It may not be happy all the time, but you don't have to deal with somebody else's misery or the misery that they intend to inflict upon you, okay? So thank you, Lynn. You have a good day as well. Y'all have a great week. Angel says, exactly, Lounge Pride. Listen to your body. Right, listen to your body. Okay, I wasn't leaving. I enjoyed you and Lynn. I appreciate you, Angel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm glad that you were here and you stayed with us. So on that note, I will see you guys on the next Let's Walk and Talk Live, okay? Put out your content, support. If you catch this replay, please don't forget to hit those 3 buttons at the top while you're in this live and hit that like button. I don't fuss about that because as long as you're in the chat, you may have forgotten to do that. So you've shown some support. If you said anything, if you stopped by and didn't say anything and didn't hit the like, you stayed for a second, so that helps me. And I appreciate that, okay? I appreciate it. So y'all have a great rest of your day. I'm about to jump in the shower. And look, it feels so good. Now I just want to sit outside. This is the breeze I was looking for, y'all, when I started walking. Okay? The breeze that I was looking for when I started walking, it's now here. And I almost waited until like now to walk. But I wanted to just go ahead and get it in so I can get my shower and get ready for the rest of this week. And again, if it's the Lord's will, and I pray that it is, I will see you guys on the next Let's Walk and Talk Live. Thank you, Lynn. Have a great day. Have a great day, everybody. And again, have a wonderful week. Bye, y'all.